Hey guys, Bowser here, welcome back to Technobabylon. So, there are two Dr. Baxters here, a dead one, and a ghost Baxter, and of course a mindjacker himself. Even if it weren't for the fact you stored the image in your wiring, you remember this face anywhere after his escape at Animus. For a man about to pulverize someone's head with his claw hammer, he looks remarkably cool and confident, as though this is just a step in a larger plan. What is he thinking? No, he is still holding his murder weapon. Is this after or before the strike? But Baxter is already dead here. Dr. Baxter's body sits slumped in his chair, apparently the recent victim of the mindjacking attack. He looks a lot more complete than when you last saw him though. Alright, let's talk to Dr. Baxter. He certainly looks like Dr. Baxter according to the background reports you were given.
Excuse me?
Hello there.
Well, hello.
Who are you?
Allow me to introduce myself, my dear. My name is Dr. Baxter. I operate the cataloging station.
Baxter? Dr. Adam Baxter?
I believe so, yes.
Yes, I know who you are, but aren't you dead?
Excuse me if this sounds a little rude, but aren't you dead?
How do you mean?
Well, yesterday I was probing your well-preserved remains at a crime scene.
Oh, yes. You're quite right. I was killed, wasn't I? It's strange, because I could have sworn I was the one doing it.
Not the blonde man? The mindjacker?
It was definitely him, no doubt about it. One can't exactly commit suicide with a hammer, can they? I'm aware that I was murdered, but I have a surprisingly vivid memory of it.
I wonder why. Maybe he was in your mind, or you were in his mind. It's one or the other.
You remember being murdered?
Not precisely. It's as though it were an out-of-body experience. I have memory of watching the hammer striking from above. My hands, his hands, so bloody. It's all very peculiar, isn't it?
And you see no difficulty between being dead and talking to me.
That is most odd.
Very strange.
Do you know a Dr. Regis?
I know two, in fact. Charles and Viction. I killed Viction, didn't I?
So I've heard.
It's very peculiar. I remember that I did it, but I can't recall the deed, nor my feelings on the matter.
You feel nothing?
I know I ought to. An act such as that would be emotionally weighty, but all that remains is an absence. Do give my regards to Charles if you see him, though.
Maybe it was a mindjacker back then, also.
Can you remember who killed you?
It was the blonde gentleman, wasn't it?
Yes.
Though I can recall it in the first person, I'm certain it was him.
How so?
He was my only company in the room, and I do not recognize him. I also realize how absurd the idea of my having committed this murder would be.
Well, and he's also holding a hammer.
Do you know why he murdered you?
At first, I don't believe it was to have been a murder. This gentleman had larceny in mind. I recall his feeling so.
Mindjacking. He was stealing the contents of your neural wiring, your brain.
Quite so. I was, after all, a leader in my field in the day. And while my memory was doubtless useful to him, he found something unexpected. A well of motivation, suppressed by years of therapy and technological intervention.
Your anger against Regis.
He took my mind. No doubt he acquired that as well.
Yes.
How do you feel about Dr. Regis? Charles Regis?
I feel nothing, particularly. I regret his decision to remove the embryos from the program, but...
Nothing else? No anger? No revenge?
None at all.
Maybe it's the influence of the neural governor on your behavior.
By no means. The weight of that cruel apparatus has been lifted.
I guess because you're no longer attached to it.
And yet, I feel nothing that would warrant it.
Maybe someone removed it then.
Why would anyone want to keep that part of your mind? What use
Yeah.
would someone have for your desire for revenge?
Perhaps it isn't a matter of his need as the desire's need. Though suppressed by the governor, my thoughts on the matter were all-consuming. Now they have found a conduit through which they may act.
The Mindjacker isn't in as much control as he'd like to think then. This might sound like a really stupid question, but what's death like?
I can see why this would be a useful matter for scientific curiosity. In my case, I'm afraid it's probably not representative. After all, can I really be said to be dead when my memory, my consciousness lives on?
I suppose all you could remember would be the physical destruction of yourself.
And that, most assuredly, was a great discomfort.
Thanks for the help.
You are most welcome, my dear.
Yeah. The help. The kind of help. So...
Excuse me?
Hello.
Thanks for the help.
You are most welcome, my dear.
help, of course. We can't do nothing about the Mindjacker. But can I do something here? Use my jaw gun? But this is not real. This is not possible.
As much as I love shocking things, I don't think it'll help.
Yes. Can I try using my wetware on him?
Wetware's not going to connect with that.
Of course not.
I can't inject that.
Oh, what about Baxter, the dead body?
I can't inject that.
No, this is not reality. Come on. Stay with the program here. Not much we can do. So, yeah, why don't we talk to Regis now?
Hey, Regis.
Yes, Dr. Lau?
How are you feeling?
You feeling any better?
A little. How did you know to come to my rescue?
I broke their comms channels. Figured I owed it to them. Cracked the bug they put in my system and rode the signals back to theirs.
I'll never be able to figure out how you do these things, Max.
Which guarantees my job security.
We have a very smart partner here.
Can I get an update?
We need to get after the people running this aerostat. And this conspiracy. I'll see what I can do for this girl.
So, Nita Jiang led us to these people. She's helping us find whoever set you up for Baxter's murder, right?
There's that. And... Max, I haven't been completely honest with you.
There's a surprise. Dr. Cryptic has been withholding info.
Ah, cram it, Lau. These people, they took something from me. Embryos fertilized by myself and by Vicky, my wife.
Oh boy.
These people stole your embryos? Your kids?
They needed me to get their memory module for them from Vanderwall. And they knew exactly what my price would be.
Wait, they tried to get you to help them?
They forced me, Max. There was no way I could say no. Those embryos, they were all I had left of her. And because of those people, of all this...
I hate to say it, Regis, but you're in serious trouble. They broke you with this. They nearly compromised this case because of it. You should have told me. I'd have done what I could.
Nobody could have helped me, Max. I was obsessed. I panicked. I felt like I was doing it for her. For my wife.
Regis, I hate to say this so bluntly. Your wife is dead. You have an obsession with these artifacts of her. The garden, the embryos.
Max.
You need to focus, Regis. People need our help right now. We've been led straight to our lead suspect. Can I count on you to do the right thing?
The embryos are gone. He destroyed them. There's nothing else they've got to twist me.
Okay, good.
Yeah, nothing holding him back now. So, about the Mindjacker.
Nina's led us right to the Mindjacker?
He was the blonde one Chantel took down. I heard him gloat about what he'd done. He stores the target's information within his own wiring until he can offload it.
Looks like he's got quite an operation behind him. I guess it's not surprising he's been robbing synapses all over the world. Gotta be for something more than corporate espionage at this rate.
Yes, and where is he offloading this information to?
So, the Mindjacker tried to blackmail you because you're on this case?
It's more than that. It sounded personal.
Maybe you've crossed paths before?
No, not with him. But the way he talked, it was like he was out for revenge. Not just that. It's as if he were Baxter looking for revenge.
That's impossible. Baxter's dead for one thing. Maybe he's his son?
No, he's a Mindjacker. When he drained Baxter, he didn't just get information. He got his motivation as well. And it stuck.
Sounds like he got a lot more than he bargained for.
Yeah, motivations, all the feelings and thoughts included.
So, we've caught up with our mindjacker. We know that he's apparently ripped dozens of prominent individuals in a number of fields.
Including Baxter, some of whom is apparently stuck. Question is, what's all this setup?
What do they plan on doing with the data they've stolen? Straight neural data is hard to process. That is, unless you've got an AI to read it.
Whatever it is, it must involve this girl.
Who was escaping through the ceiling hatch? It wasn't the mindjacker, was it?
No. He's the one Chantel caught, briefly. By the sound of it, the mindjacker's working for her.
His work is part of a larger plan of hers, then?
Possibly. She's the one running this lab, for sure.
Yeah, the one who fooled us earlier.
Chantal's really pulling her weight in this job.
It's a shame it couldn't hold down Cressel, the mindjacker.
Hey, cut her some slack. She took down 2 heavies on the tarmac.
I'm not going to make any promises about taking her on full time.
You're just worried about synthetics stealing your job.
You may as well take this now. You seem to be the maid wrangler.
What? Download a personality splitter, huh? Strange.
So, this Cressel guy, the mindjacker, he killed Baxter?
And by the sound of it, ripped the contents of his mind first.
When I saw Baxter's head, I thought that either his killer really hated him.
Like I would. Or he was covering up evidence of a mindjacking by destroying his brain tissue.
Aha.
It's a theory. Sounds like we might be able to back it up.
Yeah.
So, what do we do from here?
Now we know this is where the mindjacker's operating from.
We need to find out what their plans for all those stolen memories are.
We'd better find out where this aerostat's going, too.
The best way of covering all those would be apprehending these people. Central's gonna be pretty pissed about this. More than usual, I mean.
Is it working again?
Yeah, we fought off the intrusion.
Damn. I was hoping they'd broken it permanently.
Nah, we could handle it. It was a weird attack, though. Like, they knew exactly what they were doing.
Well-trained hackers. Foreign intelligence?
No, better than that. Like, they were intimately familiar with Central. Then, as sudden as it had started, the attack halted about 18 hours later.
I don't think Lau knows about Central being his child.
So, what do we do from here?
Now we know this is where the mind...
We'd
better...
The best... Any idea who the thrall in Skanto Blue is?
Not a clue. She must be important to their plan.
Maybe she just wandered into their airfield. A useful test subject for whatever this is.
She was at Cell earlier. She'd been targeted. They must be after her for some reason. I'll do what I can to keep her stable.
Do your best, Regis.
What?
She looks familiar. I can't quite place her, though. I guess I see too many thralls.
Yeah, she has a purpose in this. We don't know what yet.
Dr. Baxter says hi. He seems a lot friendlier than I expected.
What?
Oh, don't panic. It appears he remembers his own ripping. And death. Looks like we can be sure he was the mindjacker's latest victim. A significant part of his mind state's been offloaded into this system.
But why did you see him? Why is he in there?
They've been ripping minds and reprogramming the data through a memory module. I guess Baxter's the latest and still has the most independent agency. Doesn't sound like he harbors any ill will towards you, though.
Maybe the neural governor? He wouldn't be able to get angry.
Well, he's dead. There's no governor. I think that this ghost of his in the machine doesn't include that part of him.
You mean, this mindjacker's kept it?
Or just can't get rid of it. Find anything useful yet?
Just a length of cable.
Why would I need a steel cable?
You're the tech, you figure it out. I also picked these up while I was finding my way in.
Now that's more like it.
So I'm actually grabbing his objects now.
Any idea how many heavies they've got left?
At least 2 more, but I don't know for sure.
Me neither. They've got some pretty slick encryption on their comm traffic.
Are you saying that even you can't breach it?
Not remotely. But maybe if I could find something connected to their comm network.
Something connected to the network. Okay, are we done with Chantal?
Chantal's really pulling her weight in this job.
I'm not going to make any promises.
Yes.
Chantal,
Oops. Why?
How?
Yeah, we've heard that before. Alright,
I'll check in later.
now let's continue on.